Hello, BookTube. Uh, of course, I jotted down some things I wanted to point out to you for last week in BookTube. Just some items that I really liked that I wanted to make sure you at least knew about. Uh, but it was a hard week for BookTube, just as it was a hard week for everybody else. It was a bad week for humanity uh, because of a knot of tragedies that happened all at once. 49 people shot dead in Orlando. Christina Grimmie shot dead at a fan meet and greet. British MP Joe Cox shot dead. It's these things are incomprehensible and halting, even when they happen just once. But for a barrage of them to happen, making you think literally that you're not safe to leave your house, it made for a tough week to get in front of a camera and be jolly. And the best response I have still, I mentioned it before on this channel, is Brekke from Brekke Writes, who did a video called Orlando Identity and BookTube that is well worth your time to watch. But there were other things. There were things that were not tragic. For instance, Simon Savage reached 500 subscribers. And I am 100% certain, you can quote me on this, that by this time next year he'll be at 20,000. He's just that good. And to celebrate, he did a giveaway, and unlike some people I could name, he did a sane giveaway. So, I'm trying not to think about it. A new channel that I found called Creative Liberties did a wonderful video about reading the news. That in addition to all the TBRs and the books that we read and talk about, there's also a vast amount of good writing, sometimes great writing, that happens in the periodical press, whether it be the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal or magazines like the New Yorker. I thought it was a wonderful video to give a shout out to that. I read a small pile of that stuff every week. In fact, a literal small pile. I add them all up, and then I go to a hole-in-the-wall Chinese food restaurant and just read. That's just read periodicals. I set aside that time to do it. I have for a very long time, and she's right. It's incredibly worthwhile to do. There were a lot of review and discussion videos of Jojo Moyes' Me Before You, the book, and also the movie that's just come out. And I wish I had the technical ability to make a playlist, because a lot of the videos were really, really good. In my opinion, the movie further underscores my contention that the movie is always better than the book. The movie was extremely good, especially the two actors who played the main character, the male lead's parents. I thought they stole the movie. The guys at Strip Cover Lit continued their updates for the Hot and Sticky Summer Novel Writing Challenge, and a lot of you are making response videos giving, your progress and your horror tales from the whole ordeal. And I like that, because we're still got a long way to go. We're in the thick of it. The guys also announced in a separate video their plans to rule the world. The spin-off channels and a million ideas, which was exactly what I love their channel for. So they're always sitting and thinking about what they can do that might be different or new. One Book, One Review did a neat, funny little video on rereading books versus whittling down your TBR. A problem that I think faces a lot of you. And she dramatizes it really well. It's well worth your time to watch. Katie at Books and Things did a great BookTuber shout-out video where she recommends a bunch of BookTubers, this time concentrating on BookTubers who talk a lot about classics. And unlike her last BookTuber shout-out, this one deals with BookTubers who talk about non-Victorian classics. These aren't people who just talk about Victorian classics. And the reason that Katie needed to make that distinction in the first place is because some of the jam has slipped off her scone, if you know what I mean. We have a budding Victorianist in our midst, and they're always the worst. Can't let them loose in traffic. Then there was Peace Love Books, Lauren and the Books, Just One Reader. They all did videos on the best books of 2016 so far. That's an idea that I floated on this channel doing myself. And a couple of you have said, it's a great idea, but could you wait until the end of the year? At the end of the year, I do, on my intergalactically famous book blog, Steve Reads, I do the mother of all year-end roundups. Better than anything that you will find in the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, and I'm only one person. They have a whole staff of people doing it. So I don't know that a video at the end of the year would be anything but a pale imitation of that. I'm leaning towards a quick video now in June, the midway point of the year. But I'll mull it, and definitely let me, tell me what you think in the comments field. And another booktuber that I'm new to, Francina Simone. I just discovered her. She did a video on authenticity, on her contention, incredibly backed up, and eloquently stated, that there are elements of books that can be objectively quantified as to success or failure. The internal authenticity of the book, the characters, the world building, the plot, can be assessed critically. It's amazing that it has to be said, but in the general book reading world, especially in the last 10 years, the idea that subjectivity is everything, that if I like something, then it's great, has really taken off in a way that's unhealthy for reading. The only quibble I had with her video is it certainly wasn't the part in an earlier video of hers. She makes the allowance that I myself may not be Satan incarnate. I very much appreciated that. But in her authenticity video, the main quibble that I had was that in the list of things that she considers to be subjective, truly subjective, and therefore beyond critical analysis, beyond saying this is right or wrong, this is good or bad, is the actual quality of the prose involved. Mm-hmm. And as a critic, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. The prose can also be assessed for its authenticity. But either way, watch the video. It will make you think. And the best thing I saw was a video by Jen Campbell. I know I keep going back to that, but she keeps making little masterpieces. This one was called Hello Dark. And it's a black screen. And once again, the only thing I can say is go and watch it. I'll leave the links to all these things below, but it will give you pause in the best possible way. And that was it. It's a little bit abbreviated, but that was last week in BookTube of things that I saw myself and liked, and I wanted to make sure you saw. And I'll go back to normal rants and reviews in no time at all. Thank you, BookTube.